You know, all those sci-fi movies where like robots are making us martinis? I mean, I'm still waiting on my robot butler, but AI is already like really changing things, especially for business analysts.
Right.
So today we're doing a deep dive into AI and business analysis with Dr. Kitty Hung.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She really is.
She's like bridging this gap between business and tech.
Where I think is so cool about Dr. Hung is that she's not just a business analysis expert.
Right.
She's also got a PhD in computer science.
Yeah.
So she's got this really unique perspective on how AI is actually transforming the role of business analysts.
You're telling me, I mean, from analyzing like cell structures back in 1999 to leading business analysis for huge companies, Dr. Hung has basically seen it all.
Yeah, she's done it all.
And now she's written a book.
Literally
on AI's impact on the field.
And her central message is so empowering.
Okay.
She says that AI isn't coming for your job.
Okay.
It's here to make you better at your job.
Okay.
It's turning you from just doing the tasks to being a strategic thinker.
Okay, I love that. So less time with the spreadsheets and more time thinking big picture.
Exactly.
But what does that actually look like?
Okay, so imagine you're a business analyst and you're trying to untangle this super messy business process.
Uh-huh.
In the past, you would be drowning in sticky notes and whiteboards.
Yeah.
Endless interviews.
And tons of interviews.
But now you've got AI.
So are robots doing the interviews now, or?
Not robots exactly, but AI tools like BPMN GPT.
BPMN.
BPMN GPT.
That sounds like it's straight out of Star Wars.
It kind of does.
Does that?
So it's a specialized AI tool that's specifically designed for business process modeling.
Okay.
Basically, you feed it information and it creates visuals of how processes work.
Interesting.
But here's the best part.
Okay.
Instead of spending weeks on that first draft, the AI can do all the hard work for you.
Really?
And it frees you up to focus on the strategy.
So that's where the whole strategic mastermind thing comes in.
Exactly.
Okay.
So Dr. Hung's insight is that AI handles the routine tasks, all that data, crunching the initial drafting.
Right.
And then you as the business analyst can step up as that strategic thinker.
Okay.
Using your expertise to analyze the AI's output, you can then identify the bottlenecks and then come up with these innovative solutions.
So instead of just like mapping the process,
Right.
you're actually optimizing it, making it better, faster, more efficient. Now that's adding value.
That's the key.
Okay.
And this is where her concept of prompt engineering is so important.
I've heard of that.
It's not enough to just throw data at an AI tool.
Right.
You have to know how to ask it the right questions.
So you have to know what you're looking for.
Exactly.
It's like having an amazing research assistant, but you have to tell them what to research.
That's a great way to put it.
You have to give them the right instructions.
You do.
Okay.
And that's where her 10 tips for thriving as an AI-powered business analyst come in.
Okay.
It's like a roadmap for navigating this whole new world.
Okay, before we dive into those tips, I have to know.
Yeah.
What about AI making stuff up?
You mean like those AI articles that sound so convincing, but they're just wrong?
Yeah, like how do we know that the AI isn't just making stuff up?
Dr. Hung calls that AI hallucination.
Hallucination? That sounds kind of scary.
It can be.
Especially for business analysts that are using that data to make decisions.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to base your decisions on hallucinations.
No.
That's why Dr. Hung really emphasizes the importance of AI literacy.
AI literacy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just about knowing how to use the tools.
Right.
It's about understanding what they can and can't do.
Exactly. And being able to critically evaluate the output
Okay.
to spot any potential biases and really use your own judgment and experience.
So even in the age of AI, human intelligence is still important.
Absolutely.
We're not just blindly trusting these machines.
No way.
Okay, good.
And that's why these 10 tips are so important.
Okay.
They provide that framework for developing those essential skills to thrive in this new world, where AI is making business analysts even more valuable than before.
I like it. Okay, so AI literacy, strategic thinking, robots writing process maps. This is a lot.
It is a lot to take in.
Yeah, so let's dive into those 10 tips that Dr. Hung has.
Okay.
Where do we even begin?
So she starts with this essential first step, and it's really about knowing yourself.
Okay.
Knowing your strengths and weaknesses as a business analyst in this new AI world.
Okay.
It's about assessing your current skills, figuring out where the gaps are, and then creating a personalized learning plan.
So before we even think about AI tools,
Yeah,
we need to do an inventory of ourselves.
exactly.
See where we need to level up.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
Dr. Hung doesn't just focus on those hard technical skills. She talks about how important soft skills are becoming, like communication, empathy, and creativity.
Wait, so even with AI, the human stuff still matters?
Absolutely. It matters even more than before.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. AI can crunch numbers all day long,
Right.
generate those reports.
Right.
But it's the human business analyst who has to actually take those findings and explain them to people.
Okay.
Communicate them to stakeholders, tell the story behind the data, and really persuade decision makers to take action.
I like that. It's like that saying, data tells a story, but humans are the storytellers.
Yes, exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And those storytelling skills, like being able to build relationships, understand emotions, and inspire action.
Right.
AI can't do that.
Yeah, true. So
it's not about AI versus humans. It's more like AI working with humans.
Exactly. We each bring our own strengths to the table.
That's exactly what Dr. Hung is saying.
Yeah.
It's not about being replaced by AI. It's about using AI to be even better at your job.
Yeah, I like that.
And that brings us to another one of her tips about mastering prompt engineering.
Yes, we talked about that a little bit earlier. How do we ask AI the right questions to get the best results possible?
Yeah, it's really important. And Dr. Hung goes into a lot of detail in her talk about it.
Okay.
She talks about understanding language, breaking down those complex tasks into smaller prompts.
Right.
And really like constantly refining your approach based on the output that you're getting from the AI.
So it's a skill then?
It really is. It's almost like learning a new language.
So it's not just typing in a question.
Yeah.
It's about crafting a request that the AI can work with.
Exactly. And she gives some really good examples. Let's say that you are trying to analyze a bunch of customer feedback.
Okay.
Instead of just giving the AI tool all that text,
all the information, yeah.
You could use prompt engineering to ask very specific questions like, what are the top 3 reasons why customers love this product? Or, what are the most common complaints about our online checkout process?
Exactly.
Okay.
So you're being really strategic with your prompts, and in turn, you're guiding the AI to uncover the most valuable insights.
And hopefully save you a lot of time.
So much time.
Hours of just going through things manually.
Hours and hours.
Okay.
It's like having a super-powered research assistant who knows exactly where to look for that golden information.
And then you don't have to read through like hundreds of pages of customer feedback.
Exactly. You can just focus on the really important stuff. That's great. So we've talked about self-assessment, we've talked about prompt engineering, and we've touched on those soft skills. What else is on Dr. Hung's list of essential tips for business analysts?
So another really important point that she makes is that we need to embrace continuous learning.
Because AI is constantly evolving.
Exactly. The world of AI is changing so quickly.
Yeah. It's like when you finally figure out how to use the latest smartphone,
right,
and then a new one comes out and you have no idea what you're doing.
Exactly. You've got to be willing to stay curious, to experiment, and never stop learning new things.
Because the minute you think you've mastered it, it's already changed on you.
Exactly. And then you have to start learning all over again.
So how do we keep up with that pace? How do we even know where to start?
Well, Dr. Hung suggests a few things like joining industry communities, going to conferences and experimenting with new AI tools.
So making those connections and seeing what other people are doing.
Yeah. And she also talks about finding mentors who can help you along the way.
People who have been there and done that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you know what I think is so refreshing about her whole approach is that this isn't about becoming an AI expert like overnight.
Right. It's not like you have to learn it all at once.
It's about being open to those possibilities, being willing to experiment, and recognizing that AI is a tool that can really help you to be even better at what you already do.
Yeah, using those skills that you already have.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's more about evolving your role than just leaving it all together.
Exactly.
Which I think is a really empowering message for business analysts out there. So it's like business analysis is entering this whole new era.
I think so.
One where technology helps us work smarter, not harder.
Definitely. And that actually reminds me of one of the best parts of Dr. Holmes' presentation.
Oh, yeah.
She used this analogy of wine tasting.
Wine tasting.
Yeah, to show how important human expertise still is, even in this world, driven by AI.
Okay, I'm listening. I love a good analogy.
So she pointed out that even with all of the advancements we have in modern winemaking,
right,
all that high-tech equipment, the data analysis, even...
You still can't replace the wine experts.
Exactly. You still need those experienced human tasters to decide if a wine is actually good.
Because an AI can't tell if a wine actually tastes good.
Exactly. AI can analyze all the chemical stuff,
Right.
measure the acidity, all that.
Okay.
It can even predict how the wine might age.
Right.
But it can't actually taste the wine. It
Careful.
can't experience those things.
It can't smell it.
It can't smell it. It can't experience the aroma, the mouthfeel, the balance.
It can't replace that human experience.
And it can't replace the human judgment that comes with it.
I love that analogy.
It's a good one.
So even though AI can do a lot of the tasks that business analysts are doing right now, like gathering all the data and writing those reports, it's still about that human element. Like you said, that judgment, the intuition, the ability to connect the dots.
And that's what's going to be so valuable moving forward.
Because AI can't do that yet.
Exactly. And Dr. Hung really believes that those business analysts who can combine their expertise with AI are going to become really important.
Oh, yeah.
They'll become these indispensable strategic advisors to their companies.
Not just number crunchers, but actual thought leaders.
Exactly. They'll be the ones making sense of all that data, finding the patterns that other people might miss, and using all of that to make good decisions.
It's like having a superpower.
Right.
You've got AI to analyze everything, and you've got your own human brain.
It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and that actually makes me think of a question for our listeners.
Okay.
So, if AI can automate so much of what business analysts are doing now, what new jobs do you think will be around in the future that we haven't even thought of yet?
It's exciting to think about.
It really is. It feels like we're on the edge of something totally new.
And that's the beauty of all of this.
It's not just a technological revolution, it's changing how we work, how we think.
Exactly.
And that's pretty amazing.
I think so.
Well, I hope this has given our listeners a lot to think about today.
I hope so.
And if you want to learn more about Dr. Hung's work, you can find links to her book and her presentation in the show notes.
Definitely check those out.
And for those of you who are business analysts or want to be one, embrace the future.
Embrace AI.
Use it to take your career to the next level.
It's a powerful tool.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. And until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring.